What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as I promised you in a video, I don't know, a few days back, whatever it was, I wanted to show you one of my favorite legendary skill builds to run in the summit, especially when I'm running on my own. Now, to be clear, you can use this in a group as well, but recently some of you have reached out asking if I have a go-to legendary skill build. The answer is yes, and I wanted to share it with you today. Now, if you happen to be new here, you could hit that sub or join button, and if you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. We are having a giveaway for an Xbox, but I will save that until the end of the video. We're going to jump right into the build breakdown, starting with the specialization. Now, as you can see, I've chosen technician, and I've done that for a few main reasons. First of all, you are going to get that extra skill tier, but more importantly, this specialization gives you an extra 12% damage bonus to drone skill proxies and robotics, which you will encounter frequently on legendary content. And always remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, always have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. Moving on to the build itself, starting with the primary weapon. Once again, I'm using the Harmony rifle, and the reason I say once again is this is the rifle I also highlighted in my last skill build, and the reason for that is due to the manner in which I play legendary content. For me, I like to sit back and cover, fire off a few shots, which is going to keep the talents on my weapon, chest, and bag pretty much running non-stop. Now, this has the talent perfectly in sync. If you do not have this weapon, you could use any rifle with the regular talent in sync. That will still get the job done. If you want to use an assault rifle, you could use the test subject as well. Now, as far as my secondary, you can see I'm using the capacitor, but I typically only switch to that when NPCs get too close. With this build, I like to stay in cover, and obviously if you're using an assault rifle, it does mean you're going to be more exposed to taking enemy fire, but again, it all depends on you and your gameplay, so try out different variations, see which one works best for you. Finally, we have the sidearm, and I've chosen the TDI card custom with the regular talent in sync. Now, as far as the gear goes, I'm running 1 Wyvern, 3 Empress International, 1 Murakami, and the Waveform holster. Now, starting with the mask, it's the one piece of Wyvern, which is going to give us that 10% skill damage bonus. And one thing I like to point out with these builds, especially for those of you who are new and just returning, and let's say you're just getting into legendary content, you do not need the quote-unquote perfect build to try out legendary content in the summit. You can see here, for instance, that middle attribute is headshot damage, and I have no use for that attribute whatsoever with this build. I'd much rather that be skill damage, but again, this is the best piece I have until I get something better. Now, as we move on to the body armor, you can see it's the first of the 3 pieces of the Empress International brand set, and we're running all 3, so we get that skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency bonus. Now, I've chosen the talent Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. Moving on to the holster, my friends, it is the Waveform. This thing is an absolute monster when it comes to skill builds. Now, if you do not have this holster, I'm going to leave you a link in the video description down below showing you another build I put out a few days ago, which can still get the job done in legendary content, especially in the summit. Now, the reason this holster is so effective is because of its talent alternating current. You're going to generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. This process repeats non-stop, so again, it is highly effective. Now, as we make our way to the knee pads, it's the one piece of Murakami. Now, I've chosen the Emperor's Guard knee pads. These are some of the best knee pads in the game. To be clear, they are a PvP exclusive. However, they can drop from name caches as well, but if you don't have these, a regular piece of Murakami will be just fine. Finally, we make our way to the gloves and the backpack. They are the 2 remaining pieces of the Empress International, and one of the things I'm trying to do with this build is stack skill damage, skill haste, and skill duration every single place I can. Now, for the talent on the bag, I've chosen Combined Arms, where shooting an enemy increases skill damage by 25% for 3 seconds. You will always be jumping out of cover, hitting up enemies, so every single talent on your weapon, chest, and bag should be running pretty much non-stop for you. Again, with legendary, there is a learning curve, so don't let it stress you out. Now, as far as which skills you choose, I always run with the assault drone and the assault turret because I'm used to using those. That really suits my gameplay. So once again, always remember, this is just a template. There are so many different ways to run with the build like this, and if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Most of you know by now that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So if you happen to have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. With all that being said, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, we are having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced October 1st of this year. On that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.